I think we are finally getting to the point in Digimon where it's going to be hard to build decks because there's so many cards now and there's so many routes that you can go in building decks. And that's exactly how I felt when I was building this Megidramon BT21. Just there's so many cards you could put in. Do you put this card in? Do you not? Like how many? After playtesting for like what seems like 100 hours, this is what I got. So promo Digimon, this card is going to drop the price of WarGrowlmon, although I don't think it even costs that much anyway. On deletion, you may return one card with Growlmon or Gallantmon and its name from your trash to the hand. What sucks is that you can't return a Guilmon. So if you need to return the one that gets rushed, you won't be able to do that. You could get away with running the red one still if you want to be a little more aggro, but this deck really focuses heavily on trashing cards from both players. And once you have enough, basically you could play Digimon for free. Or of course, you know, when you go into the Gallantmon Ace, you can now trash security cards. We'll get into it. So the new Guilmon has an on-play, could Digivolve from Digimon or level 2 with Hero and a trait for a cost of 0. On-play by trashing one card with Guilmon, Growlmon, Gallantmon, or Megidramon in its name, or the Hero trait from your hand, draw 2. This is good because you can actually trash the new, the new Takato from your hand if you want to trash that one, which can go hand in hand because then you have the level 5 that allows you to play a Tamer or a Guilmon from the trash of your hand. So really good card. On deletion, then here it has on deletion, gain 1 memory. 3 of the Rush Guilmon from EX4 Digivolve over Digimon for 0, so you don't gotta worry about the 1. Although now, feels like if you brick and you go first, you can just Digivolve for the 1 and leave your opponent at 1. It's like happening more now. So when you do play this card, if both between you and your opponent have 20 cards in the trash, it gets rushed for the turn. That means it can attack the turn it was played. So essentially, you would use this Guilmon to swing for game. We're playing 3 because we want to see this card. It's hard. So in this whole deck, there's not that many cards that I'm playing a whole 4 of. I think only the Guilmon and the option card, which we'll talk about as well. 2 of the EX2 Guilmon. We're only running 2 because you cannot Digivolve over the Digimon. So sometimes that sucks, especially if this is the only rookie you have. But it is still a very good searcher because when you do on play, you can reveal 4 cards. Add a Digimon with Gallantmon in its name, Growlmon in its name, and 1 Takato. So you can get 2 hits. So early on, especially if you don't see the Takato, I do like trapping this one to go ahead and get that Takato in your hand because it is very important for you to have Blitz so you can attack. In here, when attacking, if this Digimon has Growlmon or Gallantmon in its name, you can delete a Digimon with 3000 EP or less, which can help trigger the new option card. And then 3 of the X Antibody. Now, I'm not running the X Antibody on here, the option card, which you can, but I don't. You can Digivolve over Digimon for 0 or Guilmon for 0. On play, when Digivolving, you get to reveal 3 cards. You add a card with Growlmon or Gallantmon in its name and 1 X Antibody. Ideally, you want to play this after you have a Takato in play or in your hand, and then you just keep searching for your pieces that way. The Inherit 2, your turn once per turn. When any of your opponent's Digimon are deleted, gain 1 memory. The new Growlmon, this one has an on-play, and when Digivolving, you can delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4000 DP or less, and if you didn't, you trash 2 cards from your deck, not from both players. Which I think they should have kept both players and, make this deck actually, tier 1, like OP. But no, just yours. So it's like from 2 to 4. It adds up. It's nice because they all have on play, and the new Megidra will let you play these when it gets deleted for free eventually. So that's how you trigger their on play. Inherit on deletion, gain 1 memory. It does Digivolve for 2 over Guilmon in its 3 of the OG EX3 Growlmon. This one has a Narada. You'll see it on the screen, but it's not on deletion. It's actually when Digivolving. You get to delete a Digimon with 3000 DP or less. If not, both players trash 2 cards from their decks. This one is much better than this one. It just sucks that it doesn't have an on-play, but it is better because you're trashing 4 cards as opposed to 2. And then the Inherit, when attacking once per turn, you may delete one of your other Digimon to give this Digimon security attack +1. This is going to be another way to trigger your new option card. 2 of the Black Growlmon. I've been going back and forth with using Growlmon X Antibody because the Growlmon X Antibody allows you to Digivolve a Growlmon. Then if it gets deleted, you could play out a Guilmon, which essentially you would play out like 2 when you have the Megidramon. So you have 2 Digimon. But I found it to be a little more breaky because sometimes I actually won't have a normal Growlmon in my hand. So I have to Digivolve for 3 into that Growlmon X Antibody. And also, it doesn't really help you trash. It's just more of draw Like, again, it's just more for playing the extra body. This Black Growlmon Digivolve 2 over Guillemon in its name, and then when you Digivolve, both players trash top 2 cards of their decks. Then you may return 1 card with Guillemon, Growlmon, or Gallantmon in its name from your trash to your hand. So now with this one, you can return a Guillemon, you could return any card. Obviously, that meets its requirement. On deletion, it has the same thing. You can return one of those cards from the trash to your hand. And then 2 of the BT19 Growlmon, you really need to play Takato Blitz. You want to play Takato. If you don't play Takato and you don't have Blitz, since you don't really have memory setters in this build that I'm running, you don't have it, that you're kind of playing catch up the whole time because you Digivolve and now your turn ends and you gotta wait till the next turn and then you can do the stuff you gotta do. Playing Takato when Digivolving, right? Even if you have 1, you can play up to 2 with this one. Just helps immensely with that, especially with the new Takato as well. Then here for this one, all turns while you have 0 or less memory, add 2k to the Digimon's DP. Deletion effects maximum. This is good for the Megidramon Ace, and it's good for your Gallantmon Crimson mode, the Ace. Level 5s, 3 of the new WarGrowlmon. I was running it at 4, and if you want to run it at 4, you can. It is a very good card. It does quite a few things. So as an on-plane when Digivolving, you trash top 2 cards of your deck, and then it gets raid and retaliation for the turn. I love this because this is like a quick way to get rid of your opponent's level 6s, level 7s, something that's, bugging you or nagging you, not letting you do what you gotta do. As one attacking, it could Digivolve into a card with Megidramon or Chaos Gallantmon in its name, and then for every 10 total cards in both players' trashes, reduce the cost by 1. The new Megidramon is 4 or 5, but then if you go over Growlmon in its name, it's 4. So late game, you could Digivolve for 1, 3 potentially. With the Megidra Ace, it's free. So it's pretty cool. It overwrites not having the Takato that gives you Blitz when you Digivolve. But then if you Digivolve into this one and you have 2 and you go to 1, now you can't do the 1 attacking, which is why the Takato with Blitz is important to have. So you do that, and now you can swing, and you can go into the Megidramon and do your little combo wombo. Inherit on deletion, trash your opponent's top security card, which does come up, especially with the new Megidramon actually deletes itself. I don't know. 2 of the EX3 WarGrowlmon, you trash from both players' decks, and then if there's 5 or more in each or one or the other, you could play a Guillemon from your hand or trash, or you could play a Takatomon from your hand or trash. I like this because you could play out the Rush Guillemon late game if you need 2 checks, or if you need that Blitz for Takato, you Digivolve, you're at 0, you play the Blitz Takato, and now you can Digivolve into a level 6, and now you have Blitz because of the Takato, and now you can swing. Very good card. I was running it at 4, ended up trying other cards. So we got 2 of the X Antibody WarGrowlmon, Digivolve over WarGrowlmon for 1. Then when you do Digivolve, until the end of your opponent's turn, this Digimon can be returned to the hand or decks and gets 3000 DP. Then if WarGrowlmon or X Antibody is in its sources, you can delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 10,000 DP or less. Lets you activate your option card when you do delete a Digimon. It also gives you security attack +1 as an inherit. More importantly, it gives protection, so if they try to blast when you attack with your level 6, and they try to, for example, they go into Examon Ace, they can't return it to your deck, so it kind of goes out the window. The extra 3000 DP does help because the new Megidramon, if it gets deleted, you can't take advantage of his end of attack, which is to delete all of Digimon. And then 1 WarGrowlmon Ace, because it is a 5 cost, you could end up playing this one. The new Megidramon's effect, which we'll talk about, you can end up playing this for free. And it has an on-plane when Digivolving, delete up to 3000 DP total worth of your opponent's Digimon. For each of your opponent's Digimon, add 2000 DP deletion effects maximum. Then for each Digimon this effect deleted, gain 1 memory. So you could play it for 5, pop a Digimon, and now you gain a memory, so you play it for 4. Inherit, all turns, add 3000 to this Digimon's DP deletion effects maximum. I like this card because, again, you actually take advantage of the on-play now. With the new level 6 Megidramon. I wouldn't run 2 because more than likely it's going to be in the trash and you can recycle it. And also 2, if you can't, you don't have the Takato Blitz, you got the Growlmon on there, you can now ace into the WarGrowlmon and probably pop their Digimon, hopefully. Alright, let's talk about the new Megidra Ace. This one Digivolves over card with Growlmon and its name for a cost of 4. It has built-in security attack +1, and then has end of attack, once per turn, delete all Digimon. I don't understand the once per turn because it pops itself, right? It says delete all Digimon. So he will delete himself after the end of attack. I don't know. I don't know what has wants to return. Let me know down in the comments below. On deletion, you may play one play cost 3 or lower Digimon card with Guillamon or Growlmon in its name from your trash without paying the cost. For every 10 total cards in both players' trashes, add 2 to the effect. So now that's eventually how you would play all the ones that have, on-plays, which is what you would want to do. All these 3 have on-plays, which is why we're playing just one of the WarGrowl Ace. And the Guillamon too. But more importantly, the way you would do it, you get security attack +1. You have this one, the new WarGrowlmon as an inherit, so you got 1, 2, 3 checks. And if you chipped away, they have nothing. Still your turn, you could play out the Guillamon. Now if there's 20 or more in the trash, you can go ahead and swing for game. I will get into combos in a bit. Let me just run through the deck profile. You got Megidramon Ace. This card is actually pretty good. So could blast over red or purple. Could Digivolve over Growlmon with the in its name with the play cost of for 3, not a play cost. Digivolve for 3. And then on play when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's 11,000 DP Digimon or lower. This would give it more, right, to 3K, so 14,000 DP or lower. This is going to help you trigger the option cards as well. And it has an alternate when this Digimon will leave the battle area. Play one Guillamon from its sources or your trash without paying a cost. If this effect played, place this Digimon as the play Digimon's bottom Digivolution cards. You have to get rid of him twice in order for the overflow to trigger, right? Because it gets popped, you play the Guillamon, right? It gets deleted, plays the Guillamon, and then it tucks itself underneath. So it never left the battle area or the field. So and therefore the overflow won't trigger, which is I think is pretty cool. And now you get the inherit underneath, which is all turns. Add 5,000 to this Digimon's DP deletion effects maximum. Again, we're only doing 3 ups because the deck mills fast and you also search pretty quick. Let's talk about the new Gallantmon promo. This card I like. Yeah. So, level 5 over WarGrowlmon in its name for a cost of 3. When this card would be played, if there's a Digimon with 13,000 DP or more, reduce the play cost by 2 for every 5 total cards in both players' trashes. So, like if your opponent has like an Examon, anything that's 13k or more, you play it. For every 5 in both trashes, you reduce it. It does have Rush built in and Blocker. It finally gave him just Blocker. This is the first Gallantmon that we have that actually has Blocker in itself. Finally using your shield. On play when Digivolving, delete one Digimon with 13,000 DP or more. If this effect didn't delete, recover +1. It's interesting how it's worded because if the new Megidramon, if you didn't attack for whatever reason, you can essentially play this. You would pop that, and then you could trigger its on deletion, and then you can bring out another Guillamon or whatever you want, and now you got 2 bodies you could attack with the reduced cost. Does that make sense? So one of those, believe it or not, I actually like the BT13 one better because it doesn't restrict you of when you can reduce the play cost. This one just flat out when you play it. I'm sorry, it does restrict it, but I feel like it's less restrictive than the new promo Gallantmon. So when you play this card from your hand, if you have no Digimon, reduce the play cost by 2 for every 5 total cards in both players' trash. It has Rush, has on play when Digivolving and when attacking. You can delete a Digimon with 6,000 DP or lower. If you didn't, delete a Digimon with 13,000 DP or higher. So play, pop, swing, pop something. So I like it better. I feel like this one has more synergy with the new Megidramon because at the end of attack, you delete all the Digimon. So you have a clean board. And now you can just drop it potentially for free. And it has Rush and you could swing. You wouldn't be able to do it with this one. So yeah, I did not tech in. I was trying the Chaos Gallantmon, the one that in the trash, you could pop a level 6 with Gallantmon in its trait and a source underneath to play it, which would trigger its on deletion. But I never, honestly, it never came up. It just didn't. It was just there. And then reason is because I'll be attacking and then he pops himself. So yeah, you could possibly build up to another one and then you could trigger the Chaos Gallantmon. You can definitely do that. But you already popped all the Digimon, so like why would you want to delete it? So I just took it out. It wasn't benefiting me with the deck, at least for me. I'm probably playing it wrong. 2 Crimson Mode Ace, because this card is just great. You can get away with 1, especially because the Black Growlmon will let you pick this back up from the hand. The new promo Digimon lets you pick it back up, not from the hand, from the trash. So you have ways of getting it back to your hand. But if that one's in the security stack the whole time, or you're just looking for it the whole time, So as an on-play and when Digivolving, you get to delete up to 15,000 DPs total worth of your opponent's Digimon. So you could basically clear board, especially if you have the Megidramon underneath. Now you can pop up to 20k, which is crazy. When attacking, once per turn, for every 10 total cards in both players' trashes, trash top card of your opponent's security set. Late game, I've been trashing like 3 and then going for game. So it's crazy. It is a crazy card for sure. New Takato. I actually like this card more than I thought I was. So during the start of your main phase, if your opponent has a Digimon, you gain 1 memory. So now it just helps you not get memory choke. Then when you play or when you Digivolve all turns, any of your Digimon with Guilmon, Growlmon, or Gallantmon in its name, or Megidramon or Hero in its trait, get blocker and 2000 DP until the end of your turn. So now it works well with the Megidramon when you end up swinging and then end of attack it deletes himself. And now you play, another whatever, play a WarGrowlmon. You play it, this one will trigger, now you give it 2000 DP and he gets blocked. Realistically now, when they do swing, you could ace again, although try not to do that, but you would still have blocker, you pop something and you still have block. Really good card, actually. Security effect, it gets played. And last, definitely not least, probably the most important card in the deck is 3 of the Takato that give you Blitz when you Digivolve. I did run 4, since it's like very crucial for this deck to have this card, but I saw it way too much. Like way too much. So 3 it's like good enough, because I'm like, man, where is it? But then you have the other one, kind of gives you memory, so it kind of helps you if you don't need Blitz. Anyway, when an opponent's Digimon is deleted during your turn, you may suspend this Tamer and gain 1 memory, which triggers off with the Megidramon as well. Your turn, when one of your Digimon would Digivolve into a Digimon with Gallantmon or Growlmon in its name, that Digimon gains, when Digivolving, Blitz. Basically, it could attack once the memory passes over to your opponent's turn. So this card is so important and really good to play, because you see a Digivolve for 4. And then early game, if you don't have enough things in the trash to reduce it, then you're going to end up, your opponent's going to get like a 5 or something. It'll help you get memory back. Let's talk about the Digimon I designed. It's an interesting card. It's good. It could stack. So what that means is you can actually play them back to back when you do the delay. While you have a Takato, you can ignore its color requirements. So if you want to run a straight red Gallantmon deck, you could run this, although, they have kind of red and purple now. So when you play it, draw 1 and then trash 1 card in your hand, then place this card in the battle area. Good. So it helps you build trash and kind of draw. Now, after that, your turn again. If you end up deleting a Digimon by an effect, you can delay one of your Digimon with Guilmon or Growlmon in its name, may Digivolve into a Digimon card with Growlmon, Gallantmon, or Megidramon in its name in the trash without paying the cost. Very important. What will not work is if you have the Gallantmon do that, pop a Digimon. You can't trigger this because it has to be a Guilmon or a Growlmon, so you would not be able to use it to go into Crimson and then Blitz and then swing. That would have been phenomenal if it could work, but it doesn't. The Digimon itself has to be Guilmon or Growlmon, so essentially that's when you play the level 5, and then when something gets popped, you go onto the Megidramon, Gallantmon in your trash, which is why we only really want to run 2 of these, because it's going to be in the trash anyway. These will just help you bring it out, or go to your hand. Security effect, gain 1 memory, then place this card in the battle area. So it could steal some turns, kind of like the Hammer Spark. Hammer Spark I think is 2, but you get what I'm saying. Let's get into some combos here. Alright, let's go over what Megidramon can do. If you are at 3, the left you at 2, the new Takato is going to give you 1 memory. You move up, you got your new Guilmon. You get the Digivolve over the Guilmon X, or in this case, you Digivolve into Growlmon, the new Growlmon. That Growlmon lets you pop a Digimon with 4000 DP or less, and if you didn't, you trash 2. In this case, let's say they deleted a Digimon with 4000 DP or less. So now, both of the Takatos would trigger, gaining 2 memory back. Now you Digivolve for free. Now you could trigger your option card if it was there for more than a turn. Delay. Now one of your Guilmon or Growlmon can Digivolve into a level 5. into a Growlmon or Gallantmon in the same from your trash. So now we're going to Digivolve for free. Go into the WarGrowlmon now. When Digivolving, you can trash 2, or you trash 2, and then you get Raid and Retaliation. So now you can actually, ideally you don't even want to swing into a Digimon because they're all going to get deleted anyway. But in this case, when attacking, it lets you Digivolve into Megidramon for reduced cost, depending on the total amount of trash that are in the trash. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say there was at least 10, so now we're at 0. Go ahead and swing. You get security attack +1. So let's play that out. So now here we go. You got 1 check, you got 2 checks, And now, end of attack, delete all Digimon. And now here, you can end up gaining 1, 2. On deletion, gain 1 memory. On deletion, gain another memory. And then on deletion, trash the top part of your opponent's security stack. On deletion, you may return 1 card with WarGrowlmon and Gallantmon in its name. And then on deletion, you can play a card with Guilmon or Growlmon in its name. And then depending on how much you have in your trash, you can go ahead and increase it by more. So in this case, if you end up having more than 20 combined total, now you can play out that Guilmon. Has Rush for the turn. Now this Staccato will trigger when you on-play it when you Digivolve, give it 2000 DP, and you give it Blocker. And then ideally now you can end up building back for 2. Maybe you didn't pop something this time. And now you got 3, 2, 3. You got Blitz and you got Rush for the turn. So now we can go ahead and swing again, use its 1 attacking. And now we just repeat the process. Trash 1, trash 2. This is a new Digimon, so it's still going to get deleted. Trash another one, gain 1 memory. Play out a Guilmon again, or Growlmon. In this case, you should have enough to just play this one again. Trash cards, give it Raid and Retaliation. So that's kind of essentially how this deck plays. Or also too, if you can't do any of that, once you do delete everything, you just drop Gallantmon for free. At that point, you'll have enough in the trash. You have Rush, and then you can actually close out as well. So for the very first time, like I said, this is a first deck where I feel like you could build this in so many different directions because of all the support we have. So I'm just actually really interested in how you're going to build this. And let me know down in the comments below. Catch you guys in the next video.